It was just prior to him really blowing up and being huge. He wasn't really that interested in talking to me. Then he eventually, after 25 really silent and awkward moments, he said, "I'm out." And so as his hand was on the door to leave, I said, "Oh, come on, you."
Second book, and it's called Face to Face, The Art of Human Connection. What inspired you to write this particular book?
I've spent 35 years using the engine of curiosity to have these curiosity conversations that then became synthesized in my first book, where I'd meet anyone that was unrelated to the business that I do for a living, in the media business. Each week I'd go out and have a new meeting with one of these people, and we'd talk to each other. I later realized that none of those conversations would have worked. I wouldn't have had trust enough with the person unless I looked them in the eyes. By looking somebody in the eyes, it's a one-step process to create a bridge into their soul.
Early in your partnership with Ron Howard, your partner at Imagine, he was the one who pointed out that at meetings you weren't making eye contact.
Yeah, because I wasn't. The earliest part of my life in elementary school, I was at that point acutely dyslexic. So I didn't look at anyone in the eyes because it was in fear that I'd be asked a question that I was unable to answer because I couldn't read. I realized in high school that if I look at people and talk to them, I could learn a lot. I could really expand my emotional, intellectual world. But I was imperfect at it. I'd met Oprah in a curiosity conversation. She became central in my life in terms of getting divorced, actually.
How did she help with your divorce? I'm just curious.
She said, betrayal is almost impossible to get over. And I thought, wow, that's a fact.
Would you say she's the best eye contact communicator you've ever interacted with?
Yes. And she's soulful. It touches you.
Now let's talk about a different case study.
Okay.
Eminem.
Okay.
So you were interested in creating some sort of hip-hop movie. Why don't you tell the story, how you met Eminem?
Well, basically, through Jimmy Iovine, I met Eminem. It was just prior to him really blowing up and being huge. He wasn't really that interested in talking to me. But he was in my office, but he wouldn't look at me. He would be there, where you're sitting, but just looking out the window. Then he eventually, after 25 really silent and awkward moments, he said, "I'm out." And so as his hand was on the door to leave, I said, "Oh, come on, you can animate." And he looked at me like he was mad at me, which scared me. But he came back and he came alive. He just opened up to growing up as, white trash trailer park and just that journey, and then doing battles. And he did everything in that movie. He's an incredibly thoughtful, perfectionistic, very responsible person. So I was just in admiration of every day I was with him.
Did his eye contact improve between the two of you?
Yeah, between us, yeah. Of course, yes. Mm-hmm. But he's inherently shy.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the resistance is to face-to-face contact?
I think by the younger generation, it's thought to be inconvenient and unnecessary. And you can meet or date without having to really do that, without having to say, hey, let's meet for a drink or a coffee, or you can just do it through social media, and you feel like you're getting a sense of that person by doing that. People break up, they don't even say break up. They just vaporize. So there's all these intangibles that you pick up that have great value to your job or to a relationship through just studying the nuance of someone's face, the physiognomy of a human being, or you're able to touch somebody's soul. If you touch somebody's soul, you're touching a truth. And truths are the most valuable commodity right now.